What if I told you there's an animal that can survive by shutting down its own heart for nearly an hour, not just once, but every single day of its life? Imagine you're swimming in the cold, rough waters of the Galapagos Islands. The waves are strong, the current is pulling you under, and the temperature is dropping fast. For most animals, this would be a death sentence. But for the marine iguana, it's just another morning dive for breakfast. Because this reptile has a secret weapon, one so extreme it almost defies belief. It can voluntarily stop its own heartbeat. This isn't a myth or a rare fluke. It's a daily survival strategy perfected over millions of years. And the reason behind it is just as wild as the ability itself. Let's start with the basics. The marine iguana is the only lizard in the world that forages in the ocean. It lives exclusively in the Galapagos, clinging to volcanic rocks, diving into chilly water to feast on algae. But the ocean here is cold, often around 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. For a cold-blooded reptile, that's dangerously chilly. Their bodies depend on external heat to function. So how do they not freeze to death the moment they dive in? The answer lies in what happens the moment they slip beneath the surface. When a marine iguana enters the water, its body temperature begins to drop rapidly. For most reptiles, this would mean certain death. Muscles seize, metabolism slows to a crawl, and the heart struggles to pump thick, cold blood. But the marine iguana doesn't fight the cold. It embraces it. In fact, it takes control of it. Scientists studying these animals made a shocking discovery. Using tiny heart rate monitors attached to wild iguanas, they observed something unprecedented. As soon as the iguana begins a deep dive, its heart rate doesn't just slow down, it stops completely. Flatline, no beat, no pulse. For up to 45 minutes at a time. At first, researchers thought it was a mistake, a malfunction in the equipment, but repeated studies confirmed it. The iguana was inducing a state of temporary cardiac arrest. Now, you might be thinking, how is that even possible? How can an animal stop its own heart and not die? The secret lies in a delicate balance of oxygen, temperature, and evolutionary pressure. When the iguana dives, it holds its breath. But unlike seals or whales, it doesn't have special adaptations to store large amounts of oxygen. So it has to be extremely efficient. By stopping its heart, it effectively shuts down blood flow to non-essential organs. It redirects the little oxygen it has left to the brain and the central nervous system. The only parts that absolutely must stay alive. Think of it like a power-saving mode on your phone. When the battery is low, the system turns off background apps, dims the screen, and conserves every last drop of energy. The iguana does the same thing, but with its own body. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. This ability isn't just about saving oxygen. It's also about dealing with a hidden danger, one that comes from within. Marine iguanas eat almost exclusively underwater algae. And as they feed, they inevitably swallow large amounts of salt water. Their bodies can't process that much salt, so they've evolved special glands located right between their eyes that act like built-in desalination systems. They literally sneeze out excess salt in fine, white crystals. But running those glands takes energy. And in cold water, energy is scarce. By stopping the heart, the iguana also reduces how much blood gets pumped to those glands. It's not just conserving oxygen. It's temporarily halting non-critical bodily functions until it can return to land and warm up. Now, you might wonder, what happens when it's time to come back to life? How does the heart just start again, the process is just as controlled as the shutdown. When the iguana resurfaces, it scrambles onto the dark volcanic rocks and basks in the sun. As its body temperature rises, its metabolism kicks back in. Slowly, carefully, the heart begins to beat again. First, a faint flutter, then a steady rhythm. Within minutes, it's back to normal, as if nothing ever happened. This isn't a traumatic event for the iguana. It's a routine, a daily meditation in survival. Some individuals do this dozens of times a day, depending on the tides and food availability, but this incredible ability comes with risks. If the iguana stays down too long, or if the water is unusually cold, it might not be able to restart its heart in time. Predators like sharks and hawksfish patrol these waters. And if the iguana can't move quickly when it surfaces, because its muscles are still cold and stiff, it becomes an easy target. Still, the benefits outweigh the dangers. Without this adaptation, marine iguanas simply wouldn't survive in their harsh environment. They'd be outcompeted by fish or freeze or drown. Instead, they thrive, clustering on rocks by the hundreds, diving and returning, stopping and starting, in a rhythm as old as the islands themselves. What's even more astonishing is that this ability isn't learned. It's instinctual. Baby iguanas, just a few days old, already know how to do it. It's written into their DNA, a breathtaking example of how evolution can shape life in the most unexpected ways. So the next time you see a photo of a marine iguana, spiky, solemn, draped over a sun-baked rock, remember what's happening just beneath the surface. This isn't just a lizard, it's a master of controlled shutdown. A creature that has turned a weakness, the cold, into one of the most sophisticated survival tricks in the animal kingdom. If you were amazed by the heart-stopping iguana, what other animal superpower should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Animal Fact Vault for more wild revelations from the natural world.